Hi YouTube. Third time in a row that I've pushed this button and my camera came on the first time. I mentioned it on here, last week sometime that Windows camera doesn't always come on. I got a regular camera now that I'm going to be able, I got to get a SIM card and then I'll be able to do, oh, like excursions, go out and come in and upload whatever I see out there. But yeah, I'm thinking about people that have never actually emotionally or physically been there for me in my life and then had wanted to tell me how to run my life, or that you say something to certain types of people and they always twist your meaning or they don't just quite get you. I'm at the point now, might be my topic today, I'm not sure, but I'm at the point where I don't care if I'm misunderstood anymore. If people aren't on that same wavelength, I don't care no more. You know, cheers. I hope you're all doing well. I was going to say I hope you're going through that too. Not because I hope you are. If you are, I hope you can relate. Is there anybody that can relate to that? You know, I mean, simple things in life that should be self-evident that people should not do to other people, or things that people do and want you to overlook their bad behavior. And then when you say something, not just about that, but anything in particular that they can take and twist, it makes them feel like the bigger person because if they can make you look crazy, no matter how clear you speak, how potent your words are, um, they'll act like they don't have an understanding of it. It's like, okay, so if you have the intellect of a 5-year-old and you're trying to compete with me because you made it a competition, what? Am I supposed to just back up and let you run all over me with my emotions? That's where I cut my emotions off with people. Um, yeah. I had to do it so many times in my life. It's just because other people will tolerate the nonsense. I won't. I don't give it out and I don't accept it. That's something even my kids didn't realize because I had been too kind. And they were around some real um, animalistic, lower vibrational people. So they actually had a choice on who they wanted to emulate and what they wanted to be, and it wasn't me. So I happen to know at this point they're not on my side. And yeah, there are sides to this spiritual war out here, you know, big time there is. So we might have a little interruption. I don't think it will be any great big deal, but yeah. Looks like rain today. It's kind of gloomy. That sometimes makes it a little harder to make a video when when the sun's out. You know, you have like, well, the barometric pressure when it's gonna rain, it actually squishes us. It does. So yeah, I'm feeling squished today. You know, I'm not submitting to it, but I don't have a choice. It's a little bit bigger than me, you know, and you. So, yeah, That's really what's on my mind is emotional manipulators, if we want to call them narcissists or just um, crappy people, you know. We might still love them and not want to have anything to do with them, you know. Maybe that's how they feel about me too. That's okay. I can live with it if they can, you know. Uh, Thing is, they don't usually just accept it. Like if you cut somebody off, a lot of times they won't just leave it there. They always like want to come back for round two, you know, but or more, you know. Like I've had people out and out belittle me and then ask something of me, even if it's my time. It's like, what? Um, you just got through telling me I was this or that, and now you are acting like you want to enjoy my company or want me to enjoy yours. Yeah, it doesn't work like that with me. So, yeah, I'm not as lonely as I think some people are because I've been alone most of my life and I know how to fill my time. Otherwise, I'd go crazy, you know. But yeah, it's just like a woman told me when I was pretty young, keep busy. Like if your hands are busy, your mind's not going to get in trouble, basically. And yeah, you know, or if you're upset, keeping busy helps. But then I found myself at times in my life, and this is no lie, just because of that in my head, I almost worked myself to death. I wouldn't sit down. I just would not. Um, I felt like it was making me stronger, but I didn't realize that it was harming me because I didn't give myself that time to rest. I didn't take time for myself like I should have a lot of times, you know. Probably like some of you might be in your 40s or 50s or so. Yeah, take your time, sweet people. Take time for yourself. You need it, you know. Don't push yourself over the edge for anybody, you know, because I would always include that in keeping busy, and it encompassed doing things for other people, typically. Like if I was upset, if my house was all clean, then I'd bake something. And I think these people knew it. Like, God, we'll upset her and she'll go bake, you know? And I did. It's weird, but yeah, not even to eat it, just keep busy, you know? And I worked in a bakery, so I am, and grew up baking and all that, so I'm pretty good at it. So they were probably happy. So what, mom's sad, but she's baking, you know? Yeah, but anyway, it's just the misunderstandings, you know, or like that song, I'm Just a Soul. Oh, it's called Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. That. Now, if they want to misunderstand me, go for it. In fact, I'll give you some more information, even if it's wrong, and you can go tell the whole world I don't care anymore. You know, I'll add to it, you know. If they say that I had an argument with somebody, just tell them I did a flying drop kick or something, you know. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm capable of it. Go ahead, just tell them that, you know. Because I'm sick of the ones that are actually dishonest and they're liars, um, twisting my words and trying to manipulate my life with their bullshit, you know. No matter what it is, even on the smallest scales, it's like, just why? Why? It's like one time I had somebody lying to me for no reason. I didn't even care about this person, and they didn't have to lie to me or lie to other people. I mean, it was just the weirdest thing. But that's what you call like a natural born liar, if there's something, if there is such a thing. But yeah, had no reason to even lie to me about anything because I wasn't emotionally attached. You know, I had been at one time, but you know, you can tell when I'm done. You know, I don't I don't leave any question or any open doors. I cross the bridge and I burn it, you know? And if somebody has any kind of regrets or remorse, they'll work all the harder to win my favor, um, if they actually are righteous and there is some kind of misunderstanding within their soul that they finally got enlightened. There's a way to get back in past my boundaries, but it would have to be with effort and a pure heart. Anything else isn't going to work, you know? So, and they'll have to, like, I have my phone unplugged. It's hooked up to the satellite. It's a landline. I don't even have it plugged in, and I'm not sure I'm going to. And so if people want to contact me, they're going to have to write a letter, you know. Oh well, the convenience of just walking all over me is gone, you know. I'm just looking, it is past noon. I'm going to have a hit of my weed and talk to you for a little bit. Oh, just a moment. What do they call it when it was on TV? This is a temporary interruption, or what would they say? Gee, I don't even remember. Please stand by. You know, one of them. Please stand by or sit by. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, it was a pretty big hit, huh? I used to call my adopted brother Aqualung. I didn't know how true that was until I found out what perverted actually was in his brain. Yeah, totally Aqualung. You know, sitting on a park bench, eyeing little girls with bad intent, snot running down his nose. Something greasy fingers are wearing shabby clothes. Hey, Aqualung. You know? Yeah. Only he doesn't eye little girls, he eyes little boys. And then when he gets charged with the crimes, he gets away with it because he's still sucking on the teat of the Eastern Star witch that raised us. True story. This dude got away with SWAT team came in his house, found like 9,000 hits of Valium and that he was selling and some other stuff. Guess what? No jail time. Mom and daddy helped him. That type of shit. Yeah, he can boff two little boys, one of them mine, and get away with it. That's what it is when you're connected to the what they call elite. Yeah, scum. When groups of people join together and pay dues in an organization and let everybody else in that organization do anything they want to do to other people on the planet that don't pay those dues, there's something wrong in society. And it's not just the Masons or the Eastern Star, it's the Shriners, the Knights of Columbus, the Scottish rights, and I hate that fucking word rights. People think they have rights to do something bad to me or my children. Guess what? I'm going to have the right to take your life because you fucked with mine. How about that? You like that? Well, that's how I feel inside about that. You think you have rights? Yeah, no. That's the part they don't like about me, that I don't give them their rights, RITESs. No, I don't. Every one of them is an infraction they're going to pay for before I leave this earth. So, some of them will pay daily, and others will be with a sounding blow, the final bomb, you know. I don't forgive them for things like that, and I'm not ever going to. If anybody else wants to forgive pedophiles and people that harm other people, you go for it. Go for it all day. I'm not doing it. So anyway, and watch yourself if I'm ever on your channel and you're talking about you think like you're some kind of priest or um minister or something and you're giving people rights to anything, I I will spiritually hunt you down, if not physically. I'm not taking kindly to anybody's bullshit thinking they govern another person. And the people that think that they need a government, go ahead, say anything you want to say. If you like a giant babysitter over your ass, that's your problem. It's just not my thing. Never has been either. It's nothing new for me. I've been public enemy number one since the day I was born, so this is not new to me. They should have just named me anarchist. They say Jesus was an anarchist. Was he really? Because he's more a part of the system than an actual anarchist would be. Because it means without a system, oh, hell yeah, it's a system. It's a system that demotes the woman. Even if you're in the Catholic Church, that woman putting life on this planet is being demoted in their church. And it is a two-part thing. Spiritually, it's a three-part thing, just like our blood cells on this planet. And each entity, each participant has a way of getting to us inside of us like that. That's why they can use frequencies and DNA altering jabs and that type of thing. Food, metals, clothing, perfumes, makeup, jewelry, all kind. Fingernail polish can be used against your vibration. Anything really that isn't natural on this planet can be used to harm. Well, even natural things can too, but like water, and people say ground yourself. Mm, be careful on that grounding thing. You don't want to just walk out barefoot in any old place. There's all kinds of parasites in the ground, you know, and the soles of your feet are very susceptible to that type of thing. Be careful, I'm telling you. I grew up going mostly barefoot, but that doesn't mean it was a good thing. And I know there's cultures that would totally disagree with me, and that's okay, you know. Of course, if you have leather soles on your shoes instead of the synthetic one, that would be best. And like moccasins are cool because you can ground yourself and still have that barrier, something natural, some kind of leather between you and the ground, not rubber or, um, some kind of petroleum sole of a shoe, you know. I'm not saying grounding doesn't work because it does. Hey, who's been electrocuted? I have. I lived in this one house where it wasn't grounded right, and every time and I was renting it, and every time I went to use like faucets or whatever, I had to be careful because it would shock me. And then my brother had me stick a gum wrapper in the outlet when I was about 4. He made like a fork out of it and told me to stick it in there. And then twice when I first moved here, I was out on the porch and I got hit by lightning. Not real bad, but I felt it. One other time in my life too, I got struck. Anyway, and more times than that, I've been electrocuted quite a bit. Then I used to pull TVs apart and work on them, and you have to be really careful because even with them unplugged, you can electrocute yourself. So, anyway, yeah. And then I started pulling computers apart and finding parts and hardware, software, and all kinds of things, and started building some towers, and stuff. Just because. Mostly self-taught, you know, just by reading. I did take courses in software application and some stuff like that. So it helped me like learn what like the bias was and that type of thing, different codes you need, that type of. I could go into coding. I have the mind to do it. It's just not. Yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't even be boring if I was developing software. That would be fun. But it's just not my thing. I'm more of a physical type, um, besides sitting in an office type, you know. Although I did take business classes, courses too, because management courses and stuff, clerical, different things to just, and the new typing and, you know, different things that I needed to know, you know. Like back in 95, or was it 95? Yeah, I took a computer course and software application because I really didn't know a whole lot about it. I was on the internet like when it was called America Online. That's a long time ago, you know. And I used one of the first computers called Big Blue, and the very first in-home computer. I lived in the home where that was, and I got to play the first uh, online video game that was Dungeons and Dragons. That was really cool for like way back in the 70s, you know. So anyway, kind of neat. In 1970, I used a computer in my junior high school um, to catch up on my history and my mathematics because I had had an operation and lost a bunch of time in school. I mean, I couldn't keep up on it when I was still hospitalized, so I had to wait till I was out and then go to summer school, and which I loved. I really loved summer school more than I did because I was going to a different school, and all the kids that were there were not many of them were actually there because they had been hospitalized. They were there because they were delinquents, and I just loved them. Oh, I just had the biggest crush on this one boy I never saw again. But we had a good summer, you know. And this one girl, we would wear, we had wooden clogs back in them days with bell-bottom jeans and whatever, and we go dancing down the sidewalk with our clogs. We made up little dances and stuff, and I had fun at that school. Oh, yeah. Anyway, yeah, the good old days, right? No. Whatever, whatever is right, right? Who would go back and do things over again if they could? I'm not one of them. I don't know that I'd change anything really, even the stupid things I've done, you know, but like marriage and childbirth and all those stupid things I've done for other people. Um, in that respect, I regret it because I let people actually be in my body and on my body that weren't worthy. That's the yuckiest thing on the whole planet to me, is having another person touch you that has filthy ways. Oh, it's disheartening. It's horrible, horrible. So I may not have regretted the actual um, trying to have a real family or anything like that. I don't regret having that in my mind. I just regret not being able to make better choices because I didn't know better, you know. Now people know what um, narcissists, psychopaths, players, whatever we want to call them, we're pretty aware of their tactics and their ways. But, when you're young, you're not really, um, you just don't know. Doug's dad used to say, and might not be his saying, I'm not sure, but love is blind and marriage opens your eyes. You awake yet? I woke up. Yeah. And I think he said that in front of Doug's wife too, or Doug's mom, his wife. Whoa, she was a rough one to be around. Whew. Doug's still not over it. I don't know if he'll ever be. That's how rough it was. Just like what raised me, actually. Um, well, how these women walked through their lives and never got beat down is a mystery. you know, it's all I can do sometimes to just walk away and not do something back when somebody like struck me or said something horrible or lied about me or whatever it was. It was really hard not to retaliate. I don't feel like that anymore. I mean, it's not like I want to go around beating up an old great grandma because of the unforgiveness that I have. you know, but or even my adopted brother. I mean, I don't want to beat him up. I want him on a chain gang. I feel like these people will get off scot free if they're put to death, the pedophiles. No, chain them all together and make them work. And if they don't work, they don't eat. And when they decide they want to eat again, then they let them out to work. Farm fields, farm labor. You know, if you want a radish, you're going to have to plant it and weed it and water it and pick it. Enough of these clowns making license plates and having puppies and kitties in their cells in prisons. No, make them bastards work. Not in the kitchen to feed themselves, make them work for society. They had crimes against society, let them work for society. You know, there's like in California, they have uh, it's called victim something with a R. Let me think of it. It's where the victim has to give the chance for the abuser to come before them and make recompenses or like excuses for what they fucking did. No. Re-traumatizing. Yeah, it's what it should be called, but that isn't it. There's another word for it. And they have it in place in like a couple counties in California. And oh, rehabilitation, that's what it is. It's not it's like prisoner rehabilitation program, part of their bullshit to normalize criminals getting away with their bullshit and re-victimizing the person that was hurt to begin with. That's really common in our world. You know, people do that all the time. So, yeah, for the people that just want to be around me because they think it's fun to torture somebody, or they'll say, "Oh, look at the look on her face. You should see your look." Yeah, you're going to see my look, folks. You're going to see it in your fucking nightmares. So, anyway, I probably should end it there. I hope you all have a really good night or day wherever you're at. I appreciate you joining me. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.